Yo, just getting set up, going live for the first time. Going live for the very first time. Oh, let's see. There we go. So let me try to get this thing set up a little bit better. Get this thing set up a little bit better. It's gonna be about good enough. It's gonna have to be good enough. That's why I'm a perfectionist. Let's see if I put it where I normally put it at. That'll be better. Got my tip. I'll get all that worked out. Anyways, I want to talk some boxing. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got anything going on? Thanks, Just Do Boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's my first live, man. It's an open panel, man. I got a lot of videos out. You know, I support a lot of people. I go to a lot of people's channels, and you know, I show my support. I always emphasize that I'm an 80-20 kind of person, meaning that I probably rock with 80% of what most people be saying. You know, it's just the 20%. But nowadays, man, boxing and people in boxing are so damn sensitive. Nobody can have an opinion. We can go around talking shit about these boxers all day, every day. But the minute somebody got something to say about what you got to say, now all hell got to break loose. People be trying to get violent. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, it was all good when I was sending you $5 saying you preaching, but when I say, hold on now, That's cap. Now I'm the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Just Do, man. I'm always remember that, man. You the first one that ever got in on my first one. But I'm here, man. I'm here. What I do want to say is, I don't know if y'all realize, but Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell got it on last night. And that's crazy that that's the only highlight of boxing this morning, for real, even though that fight got canceled, you know, with respect to what's going on over there and what happened and why that fight didn't happen. But that is the state of boxing. That's the state of boxing. 2 former NFL running backs, greats. I got AP second behind Barry Sanders in my book, man. In his heyday, he was the man. You know what I'm saying? But that's the state of boxing, with 2 running backs got in the ring, got some bread. Got in the ring and got some bread. Why? Because the best not fighting the best. As simple as that. We got it's new strains of this and new strains of that, man. These boxers out here pussyfooting around. And these YouTubers are saying, you know what? We want to see fights on Saturday night. Hey, you think they'll cut me a check? They're going to go in there, man. It's about to get taken over, man. But guess what? Us as fans, we want to argue with each other. We want to argue with each other about our opinions. We want to come to blows. We want to start talking about showing up and slapping and laying hands on each other. Why? Because I think my favorite fighter will beat your favorite fighter. That's what we're doing. And then when you point out facts, when you point out statistics, then you're a fanboy. You can have your opinion. I can have my opinion on all these boxers. Then we talk about racism in boxing. Let's say Just Do Boxing. Shout out to Just Do Boxing. He said, real talk, and because the best not fighting the best, it leaves room for these side shows they've been putting on and these dudes playing boxing. Exactly. That's what I was going to say, man, because I was looking at AP, man, and I'm like, man, he looked stiff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that style on the football field, that's different. Le'Veon Bell, his running style was a patient style. You know what I'm saying? He took angles, you know, he was patient. You could show that, but it left a gap for him to say, for them two to say, let's get some bread. Meanwhile, we arguing. We finding clips on how to paint these other fighters. Our favorite fighters is bad, or the ops is bad, or whatever. Listen, no one part is greater than the sum of all the parts. So I use myself for example. I love Tank. It's boxers. I love Spence. I love Charlo. I love both the Charlos. I love all the Russells. I love Shakur. I love them all. Not one of them is bigger than the sport. But we could justify and say, oh, we friends. And it leaves, it's some people out here that are proclaiming that Jake Paul is taking over the sport. And why? Because he's using his platform and his followers to garner traffic and for him to book these fights. I think he barking up the wrong tree. And Just Do. No one man is above the sport, man. And that's what get to happening, man. No harm, no offense, man. They call him Black Jesus. They say he walk on water. But me as a fan, when I go back to the resume and I look at the beginning of the resume, it don't line up. When I look at the state of boxing and all the praise, I mean, I'm like, I hear that name more than I hear Jermell Charlo, a stone collector. If I look at what Earl doing, he went and got 3 of them things. I look at what Tank doing. He under Floyd. It's the money team. I mean, I don't agree with everything that's going on over there with Tank. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I can't speak for Floyd. I've been called. I've been wanting Tank to put hands on Devin. And I appreciate Devin. I was wrong when I said Kambosos was going to do his thing. I was wrong. He did his thing with Lisa. He did his thing with Mickey Bay. He did his thing with Teofimo. The wrong Teofimo showed up. It looked like the wrong Kambosos showed up when Devin went over. We give Devin all his respect for going over there and doing what he did. But the reason why we're not getting the Tank and Devin fight is because when Tank was free, he decided to stay over there with Floyd. You can say what you want, inconsistent, consistent, biggest, whatever. He stayed over there with Floyd. Devin moved around. It was an opportunity where Devin was free, and he chose to go for Undisputed, which we respect. We respect. I say all the time, man, I respect Dev, man. He put on the clinic. You know, people say that he lacked power. I don't necessarily know if it's a lack of power. I think that he can't afford the opportunities that other fighters can take because he might get caught. Because I hear all these things about, oh, he'll beat Tank. He'll beat Tank. He'll beat Tank. But if he stands in front, it ain't no but if. When it comes to Tank, when I hear people describing Tank against him, it ain't no what if. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no what if. I don't hear people saying, oh, Tank might need Blu-ray. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear saying, oh, yeah, he might need Blu-ray, or, well, when he move up, you know his power. It ain't no question. I think that he can't afford the opportunity to take the kind of risk to use his power and his leverage because he want to play it safe. You can't play it safe for all your career, man. But we got to understand business. I got a clip where somebody is reading their rights about Bud when he was down there with Bob and how you can't do this and how he was making you think that you're ducking and this and this and that, all under Bob. But in that same breath, you can say, all right, pause, let's switch to Devin. He signed to Bob now. He got to fight now. So talking about Tank, but everybody's doing it. Regis about to fight Zepeda. And guess who we talking about? Tank. And I love Regis too. I want him to get the belt. That might be an incentive for Tank to go up there. I don't know. I mean, with him having the belt, it might raise the status that I guess Floyd and them would want. I don't know the reasoning. I don't even try to explain away everything that go on with Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. I don't try to explain away. I don't agree with everything any of these dudes do. I don't try to harp on their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I just follow them. I try to build up. I try to reach out. I say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I point out the good, the bad, and ugly. And for most of them, I rock with them to 80%. It's the 20%. It's the 80-20 rule. But what's on your mind, Just Do Boxing, man? You the only one in here, man. We can cook, man. I can give my take on anything. I'm just waiting for the smoke. Because when all these debates, when I put out my input or when I put out my opinions, people say, oh, what are you doing? How you got so much to say? But we got so much to say about these boxers. So I'm on here. I'm going to be on here for a little while. Just waiting for some smoke. People say, oh, man, the numbers. Well, I'm here for all the smoke. If you got something that if you as a fan got something on your mind about the sport of boxing, this is a place where you can come in and you can say whatever you want. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we all, you know what I'm saying? Because most of us just want to see boxing. And a lot of us been paying attention, so we don't agree with all the narratives around why these fights aren't happening. We move goalposts all the time. One fighter lose is the personal trainer's fault. Another fighter lose, it was just his fault. He wasn't listening. Like last week, when Ryu got touched. When Ryu got touched, he had no answers. His corner had no answers. After the fight, guess what they said? Guess what Jose Benavidez said? He didn't listen. I'm like, how responsible is that, man? What you mean he didn't listen? Meaning, you couldn't convey what you needed to convey to make him make the adjustments, or the adjustments wasn't in him, which means that's an indication or an indictment that there was a lack of preparation. That's what that meant. That's what that meant. But I'm here. I am here. Just do boxing. Real talk. You speaking all facts, and there's no self accountability. A lot of times in boxing, too many people blaming other individuals. Yes, it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, make it make sense, like, because I hear it all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm like, when I be looking at, let's just say somebody like Tank, right? I'm like, what are people really upset about when it comes to Tank? Like, I be trying to figure it out. What are they really upset about? Do they know the history about Coach Calvin? Like, are they upset that they feel like he shouldn't be making that? Are they saying, you're so upset that he won't fight the people that you want? It's like, okay, when you get up there to make that amount of bread, man, and you got that many hands in a pot, man, you get pushed and pulled away, you know? And if you were ever to decide, because you'll put out videos about, and you'll highlight, and you'll have these people come on your channel, and you do all these interviews on people who done left Floyd and did this, and look at what happened to them, but y'all openly encourage Tank to just run away from Floyd when he making the best money he can make. And in the ring, he's bodying people. But who do we blame? We just want to get on. We want to get on and just rant and rave about and just point fingers. We want to get down to why the best fights aren't happening. That's all we really want to know. That's all we want to know. You know, but let me get into something here, man, because look, it's some boxers that's going under the radar, right? And people don't really talk about them, and they always have to make an announcements about them, right? So one of them is Gary Antonio Russell. I'd be happy to know what's going on with Gary Antonio Russell. Another one is Richardson Hitchens. You know, I know he broke away from Floyd, and or allegedly, you know what I'm saying, allegedly, from the information I've been seeing about him. He broke away from Floyd, and he's at 140. I believe he's a force to be reckoned with. Jamal Charlo. I want to talk about Jamal Charlo. You know, it's a situation, right, where and I subscribed to a guy earlier this week because his situation was like, man, his situation was he was defending Andre, right? And his decisions, right? But I've been tracking Andre too because I want to like and support Andre. I want to get behind him. You know what I'm saying? He a black brother getting it out the mud, you know what I'm saying? Doing everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's like he made a couple of decisions in his career to where, you know, as an outsider looking in, it's saying, okay, well, what are you trying to do? Because when you get over there with Eddie Hearn, man, you're on ADT. Eddie Hearn, the zone is AKA ADT. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you like Richardson Hitchens too. I'm gonna get on him. I'm gonna touch on him, right? But Andre, right? He made this decision to mess with Eddie, right? And the whole time he was right there with Triple G and Canelo the whole time. He was right there. That was an in-house. I'm talking about for years. So he wasn't crossing the street. He wasn't crossing that side of the street. You know, he was getting his bread. He wasn't that active. You know what I'm saying? He had the history of pulling out with Charlo early on, right? With Mel. He had the history of pulling out on Mel a week out, right? And so this guy Janabek comes along, he works his way up. And so in essence, he did In essence, he did what everybody say that Loma did to Devin Haney in a sense. And so now this guy Janabek got the belt. He did it twice. Now I ain't no genius. The first time around when it got pushed and it was coming up for it was going up on purse bid or whatever, it was an opportunity where the numbers would have been like 80-20 in his favor. He could have got as much as they said 75-25 if he would have fought that guy over there. Now I understand not fighting that guy over there. But on the 80-20, when you're going to get the lion's share, this guy Janabek is coming up and making a statement. It'll almost been like what Charlo did to Lubin if you would have made a statement. Now, me, I want to see the fights. I don't care. I just happen to know or try to keep, you know what I'm saying, my eye on what's going on behind the scenes. But, I would say, all right, well, look, I would love to see Andre make a statement against this guy. It was a way to bridge the gap between the Zone and ESPN, top ranking them. It was a way for them because it was a purse bid. It was like it was mandated. It was going to so all that across the street that was eliminated because we always get that. That was eliminated by going to purse bid. So he said he ain't doing it. Then he said he's going to move up to fight Zach Parker. I was asking somebody to highly respect. I mean, how do you rate Zach Parker? They said I don't. So I was like, oh, it ain't just me. So it's like, okay, so you about to fight Zach Parker, who, if we put him in the lineup, you might not be able to recognize him. I mean, we know who he is. And they say, oh, because he's stronger and he's tougher and he's more established than the guy coming up. I understand that, but you could have made a statement against that guy. You could have got some bread against that guy, did another title defense, waited out this Triple G and all that. But I don't understand you moving up to go see Triple G or Canelo in that pursuit when y'all was on the same side of the street. All them years in the fight didn't happen. So the rule of thumb is it's only a duck. This is what they say. It's only a duck if you move up. Let me see. I got to figure out how to drop the link. Let me see. I got to figure out how to do that, just do. Let me see. Let me see. I'll figure it out here in a second, man. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. My very first one, man. Nah, I'm straight from the I'm straight out of the studio, the YouTube studio. I'm not on StreamYard or nothing. But I figured it out, man. This is I'm telling you, like I just said, man, like I gotta get myself up to speed on going live. But everybody be saying I want smoke, they want smoke, and they want this and they want that. So I was just like here, showing my face, letting you know I'm a hardcore boxing fan, man. I follow it. But this is what I'm looking at, right? So the second time around, Andre, the second time around, Andre said no again. Yeah, Andre said, yeah, I'm moving up. I'm gonna fight Zach Parker. It's like, okay, cool. Because that's your career. Right? So what that did was that gave Janabek a belt. So when that gave Janabek a belt, that meant that him and Charlo could get it on. And I think it's been 14 months? It's been about 14 months since I think he fought last July or June, since Maul had actually fought. But now it's no side of the, I mean, yes, it wouldn't be a side of the street, but Janabek is actually calling for a unification. And I'm like, man, wouldn't that be a good fight? Wouldn't that be a good fight for Maul to actually cut his teeth on? To actually make a statement? Because it's for a belt. That would make you a unified 160 champ. Like, is it just me? I heard somebody say that he ain't the same no more. I'm like, how is he not the same? I know he has some things going on or whatever, and I know he a fighter. Let me see. Just do boxing. Okay, no doubt. I'm rocking with you. I'm gonna go live probably in a few, but I'm locked in for now. Andre setting himself up challenge for the other titles at 168 as long as he beat Parker. And I can rock with that, just do. I can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's one of them things to where we'll never know unless when the fight happens, we see them in the ring, and then he actually wins. That's going to be one of them things. Hindsight is going to be 2020. But I can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? I can rock with that. So I'm like, man, I don't know. I mean, with the way fighters is, it's like, man, like I don't know, man. It's different. It's almost like this, right? And don't knock me, but I'm like, look, if we don't get this Spence and Bud fight, I want to see Spence fight Boots. It's like I don't want to see him leave 47. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him leave, But I'm like, man, with some of these guys, when they come up like that to where you about to give a belt, so under the rules. So if you are a Devin Haney fan and you say that Loma ducked him when he let that belt go, got elevated to go fight Tio, if you are saying that Loma was a duck for doing that, is that the same thing as what Andre just did with Janabek? Because it's two different. It's two different. Some of these goalpost conversations. These goalpost conversations. So what side? So if you say that no, Loma was correct because he went to go fight Tio for all the belts, or yes, he was. Is that the same as what Andre just did to go fight Zach Parker? And I might have to come over there. Just do, you know what I'm saying? Just depends on what happens. But yeah, man. I mean, what side? What do you make of that? Mm, what do we make of that? Oh, I was saying, if you are a Devin Haney only fan, right? If you just believe, because if you a monogamous boxing fan, right? So you can only like Devin, right? So like some of his fans, you can only like Devin. But in that situation, if you are in a with the Loma situation, because Loma said, "All right, here, take that belt. I'm gonna take this belt up here, and I'm gonna go fight Tio for the rest of them." If if you are of the majority to say that yes, okay, Loma ducked, right? What's the difference between that and what Andre did with this Janabek situation? Because he said, you know what, I ain't gonna fight you. Go ahead, have that. I got bigger and better things to do. So goalpost conversations is what I was saying. Which way do those goalposts go? Like, so is that which one was a duck and which one is not? And I want to see, and I guess I mean because people be saying that the fact that Maul won't go up to 68 to fight Benavidez as of right now. You know what I'm saying? I think he was saying catch weight or something. Since Maul won't go up to fight Benavidez, they saying that that's a duck. I'm just saying that look, man, as a hardcore boxing fan, I see a unification at 160 right now because the guy who just got the belt is coming straight to you saying, "Hey, I want smoke." it's pretty similar. Loma didn't duck Devin because he went to fight a unification, which trumps a mandatory obligation. Exactly, B. Exactly. You know, I man, my videos go way back. And that's why I think the channel, man, look, I'm taking the stairs, man. You can go back, man. I've been consistent. I said the same thing, man. He didn't. He didn't. But 140. You Richards, you was talking about Richards and Hitchens, man. I like that guy, man. I think that he is very crispy. You know what I'm saying? I think he very crispy, man. I just want to see how he lands, with, I guess the information I got saying that he's not with TMT anymore, I want to see what's going on with him, man, because he's sneaky good, man. I don't think he gets the attention that he deserves. We seen Brandon Lee a couple weekends ago. He went to Adversity University, as I like to call it. He went through some adversity. He got sat down on the side pockets, you know what I'm saying? But he was able to come back and win the fight. And I earned a lot of respect, you know what I'm saying, for his opponent that was moving up. Let me see. Just Do Boxing says Haney fans think everybody ducking him, which is false. And I feel you. I'm gonna support you 100%. I'm only 9 months in. Hitchens is underrated. Yeah, I think he underrated. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the knocks was Tank. Well, who else they got but Tank? And who else they got but Tank? But over there on TMT, but they actually had Richardson Hitchens. They got that young dude, I think Kermel Moten now. And that's the side. See, on that side, on the fans, on the OnlyFans, right? When you talk about the OnlyFans, it's like when you can start drawing a pattern to where everybody that's a known opponent of his gets trashed. Everybody that's opposite of him in negotiations and everything gets trashed. Everybody ain't shit. Everybody's ducking. Nobody can fuck with you. It's like at some point in time, don't you know that these big wigs are not gonna want their champions to have to endure that, especially with the stuff that be going on online and what people be saying about the opponents? Don't you know? I mean, yeah, trash talk. Talk your smack. You know what I'm saying? Talk your smack like Floyd. It just Floyd did it. He was one of the masters at it. But ain't it ironic that everybody that's opposite of Devin gets trashed? And isn't it ironic that on every corner, wherever you look, that when there was an opportunity to fight a higher level of competition, Devin Haney actually went on to fight lower level competition. That's kind of ironic because originally it was the Fortuna ordeal. So the Fortuna ordeal didn't happen because it was a surgery, and then when he came back, they say Fortuna didn't want no smoke, right? And then it was the Gamboa, but Gamboa was right off and negotiate the second negotiations with Gary Russell Jr. Those were the second negotiations. So instead of Gary Russell Jr., it was Gamboa. Okay. So then the next one was Jorge Linares. So instead of Loma, because that's what the negotiations was, that's what all the back and forth. Instead of Loma, you got a Linares. Okay. So then it was all this Tank won't fight me. Ryan's my mandatory. He won't, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta give him credit for Ryan ducking. But remember, Ryan did the same thing to Tank. And Tank, they don't ever give him no credit for that. Abner Mares did the same thing to Tank. He don't ever get no credit for that where they pulled out on him. So yeah, so Devin get the credit because Ryan didn't want it. He get the credit because Fortuna didn't want it. But I'm saying in negotiations, when you have two options at all those times, it always seems like we get the lesser of the two. But then we point the fingers at Tank, and it's like Tank, like, man, damn, I'm making all this bread. I'm with Floyd. They telling me, hey, do this, get, you want these guys to get their numbers up. as hard. That's the difference between me as a hardcore boxer fan, still wanting to see the fight. I don't care about all that. I understand. I'm not gonna get online and start spewing rhetoric like I don't understand that. I do. So that's what it seems like. So instead of a Tank, we got who we get. That was JoJo Diaz. And mind you, none of these guys, he knocked down. Not that knockdowns really. I mean, knockdowns are separators, but as you get better in facing certain types of competition, you know what I'm saying? As your competition get better, I mean, trying to outpoint somebody. Mm, yeah, hopefully they move Carmel better than they did when they had Hitchens. He left because he said they didn't show him that they believed in him. You know what? You know what? Just do. Hey, Floyd and them was actually getting a lot of criticism for not shedding light on their bigger stars. But guess what happened? Richardson Hitchens had to fight what's his name? From out here in Baltimore. He had to fight I ran into him at the gas station one day too. Malik Hawkins. Was that Malik Hawkins? Or the Iceman? That fight happened real early, man. When you look at where the Iceman was, Malik Hawkins, yeah. I ran into him. We had masks. I ran into him at the gas station one time back in December. It was like right before I was about to do a Spence video one night. It was crazy, and I knew it was him. I just ain't hold him up. You know what I'm saying? But uh when they pit them two together, that was tough. I was like, no, because they sometimes things happen and people act like they don't see those things. But they put Malik the Iceman Hawkins in there with Richardson Hitchens at that stage in their career. At that stage in their career, that's what they did. And I'm like, man, as a boxing fan, you love it, but like at that stage in their career, but then they always poke and prod at Floyd and how they move. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because I think that fight, I mean, we were, but at that stage of that career, who knows what that did to Malik? You know, Malik Hawkins. That was a tough fight for Hawkins and a risk for Hitchens. And you're right, though. Yeah, they don't get no credit for that. They don't get no credit. They don't say, "Oh man, we got a contender. We put them brothers in," and then somebody took a hit because I don't even know if the Iceman is fighting anymore. When I go over there on the rise, man, I try to ask certain questions and do that. But since I'm up here in Baltimore and I try to, it's kind of funny, man, because people might think you're trying to use them or you want something or you jock strap ride. And sometimes I ask the question, but I understand how to be respectful and to get the information I want. But I asked about him, and I think they said he not boxing anymore. I was in the chat one time. I asked them. They said he ain't, but my heart goes out to him, man. But who you think? What you think? Hitchens gonna do? Well, I'm gonna start calling him Africa because I think they call him Africa. But what you think Hitchens Africa gonna be doing? What you think he got going on? How do you see him against a Gary Antoine? Because I got a whole collection, man. I know what you mean. I be watching the Rise podcast too, and damn Hawkins done. That's what they told me. I mean, well, when I asked, I ain't saying they told me, but when I was in the chat and I was like, hey, they was just saying he ain't doing it. But some people can't, man, the boxing, man, it's almost like hitting a lottery and then having continued success, man, it's very hard. So when you think about how paydays happen, and if you're not fighting and you're not that active, man, a lot of people, man, especially up here in Baltimore, if you're not getting no fights and they not really lacing your pockets and you got like the support system around you to maintain, man, I mean, you got to work. Then you dealing with people that might have nothing but time to train, nothing but time to eat right, dietitians and all. It's hard. So inactivity and not being able to fight, it's hard to maintain, man. People kind of fall by the wayside. They gotta work, man. They gotta eat. What do you say? Antoine Russell would be a tough fight for Hitchens. stylistically, that's a tricky fight. Russell was a dog. Yeah, yeah. I call him the butcher. You know how when Benny the Butcher be like, the butcher coming. I call him the butcher. You know what I'm saying? He got that stab jab to the bread basket. He southpaw. He got that prison style suffocating. He ain't gonna let you breathe. But then you got the style of I would love to see it because then you got the smooth, you know what I'm saying? He pretty much got the hit and got hit. And as he started figuring out as he get warmed up, he started hitting you more and he started letting his hands go. That's why stylistically, I love that fight. I love that fight. But what but just dude, watch what's gonna happen when that fight start brewing. One of one of my bros from YouTube related to the Russell family. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's another thing, man. I grew up down there in Landover, man. I grew up down there that way, but I live in Baltimore now. But the thing is, sometimes, like even with them, I would love to get them on. I would love to talk to them. I would love to be an advocate and actually, you know what I'm saying? Just chop it up and figure out what's going on. But at the same time, Modern King Boxing. Salute. Salute. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, I would love to get close. But see, it's weird out here, man. It's weird out here in the DC, Baltimore, in this whole area. Like DC and Baltimore, they don't really like each other. Then if you kind of show, if you kind of show that you got love for the people in DC, the people in Baltimore be looking at you like if you show you got love because it's all this. It's like I'm just a boxer fan. I like the Russells. I like Tank. You know what I'm saying? I try to support the people from the Virginia area. But it's weird because you show support and love, you know what I'm saying, and likes, and you will send support, but they'll be like, oh, he just trying to, that's what people think, So I would love to see the Russells. I would love to see. I support them, man. I support them. I think that um Jerome Rose, you from Baltimore. That's what's up. I'm subbing. Thank you, Rose. I'm from Landover, Maryland. I went to the Army right out of high school in '98, and I toured the world. And then I wound up selling in South Carolina for a little while. Then I wound up coming back about 5 years ago, and I wound up being in Baltimore. I never thought, you know what I'm saying, growing up in the DC, PG County area, graduated from Laurel, but I'm up here in Baltimore and I see it. That's why I think that, man, when they be shitting on Tank a lot of times for no reason, I can see if he go out and do knucklehead stuff, but when they shit on him and then it to me, it's rolling down, it's an indictment, or they're pointing fingers at Coach Calvin, and I see what he do for the youth. I'm like, don't you know that, man, Tank is the beacon of hope? Don't you know that's what, so people don't just see that. We see him when he get in the ring. We see him when he get in the ring, right? Outside of that, it ain't really nothing to judge. But then you see that Coach Calvin is actually putting that into the youth and how he care about the youth. Let me see, Just Do Boxing, I'm support you 100%. We on this grind together, fam. This YouTube grind different, but I ain't stopping. That's right. And Money King Boxing, Baltimore used to be in a dark place in the 80s. Yeah, man, I grew up. DC was different. DC was different, man. Like shit. I used to come back from the Army sometimes, man. I used to see I used to see white people jogging around downtown. You know what I'm saying? In alleys and stuff like that, to where it's like at a certain point in time, you wouldn't see nobody jogging. We wouldn't even be jogging around down there back then. In Baltimore, we already knew you don't go up if you don't know nobody up in Baltimore. You don't go up there playing around. You might go up there to go see, you know what I'm saying, go to the zoo or go see a site, or you might got a cousin up there, but shit, your folks take you up there. You ain't trying to sleep up there because you with your cousins and them. Shit. Used to be, yo, it's dark and yeah, I'm here. I do HVAC out here. I'm all over. I'm all over the DMV area. That's what I do, man. I'm in and out, man. That's why I try to, you know what I'm saying? I know I see. You can't even go to the gas station. You know what I'm saying? Without somebody saying you got some spare change. I'm like, well, if that's spare change, is there anything related to disposable income? Because if not, I ain't got no income that I can dispose of. You heard me? Used to be, yo, it's darker now. I haven't been back since the 90s. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but a lot of times, you know what? I stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? It is time when I go out and about, you know what I'm saying? But and you gotta, I was in the military. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I would say. But it's still, but a lot of it's the energy you put out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it, like this online, this YouTube stuff, it's supposed to be all about boxing, man. This is supposed to be our retreat away from everything we face. And that's what I want. I be tired of all the politics. I just be wanting to see a motherfucker get punched in the face repeatedly by another motherfucker that used to be able to defend it or is trying to learn how to defend it or gonna show us how he gonna get around. You know what I'm saying? How he gonna that's what I want to see. I don't care if you owe the jeweler. I don't care if they came and snatched your rims. I don't care how many children you got for real, for real. In the grand scheme of things, I care that you're able to support them, but man, it gets so ugly. And we get away from boxing. And then when you try to jump on the facts about it, the truth. That's why I say, what happened when trolls tell the truth? Then you hating. I came from Atlantic Modern King Boxing. I came from Atlantic City once and went to the train station and asked someone for a cig for quarters, and the dude robbed me for my $8. I forgot where I was at. Yo, you funny as shit, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I've been up here. I've been up here for 5 years, man. And hey, my spider senses be tingling, boy. I be like, man, you know what I'm saying? I feel you though, man. That's funny, man. Hey, come back, man, and supporting. If y'all got something, man, if y'all want to put your stuff in it, man. Like this is what it's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be. If you got a channel, if you would, you can rob me. Yeah, man, that's how it is. Hey, look, I'll be at work. I'll be at work sometimes. And I have to go to a place. I got the little locks on the side of my van and everything, man. I'll be at work inside the building working on somebody's AC and heating, and I be worried about my shit outside. That's why I don't really carry no cash. You know what I'm saying? I don't really carry no cash like that. Moving back from Jersey, you could buy a cig for 50 cents a Lucy. Nigga robbed me. Yeah, man. It get like that, man. Yeah, but this supposed to be this boxing, man. It's kind of weird, man. Yeah, I don't miss it. But I never got locked up in DC. Yeah, man. I can say I never got locked up, man. No, I was in the military. I was in the military for 7 years, but I never got locked up, man. Cause my mama told me early about consequences and repercussions. You know what I'm saying? She told me, but I grew up with shit. You could be playing basketball with somebody one day, and you come outside, you might get stole the next. So you had to be ready at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like these boxers, you got to be ready at all times. Protect yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. But I went off. I knew this wasn't no spot for me to be hanging around. So I was 17. I graduated. I jumped right into the army. Straight up. I wasn't even 18. Been to Korea, been to Iraq. I've been in Texas. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'll be surprised with the people from Texas that I'm starting to see, man. I've been down there, man. I was down in El Paso. I got one of my good friends is in Austin, Texas. My man Smitty. You know, I've been around. I was truck driving for years, so I've been all over, man. The nation feels small to me. I used to go with me and my trainee. We used to drive from like Philly to Cali in 2.5 days. And I used to stay on the road, going through the Rockies and all that. But anyways, man, what y'all want to talk about as far as boxing? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever been in the chat? This is the question. Have you ever been in the chat, right? And you see a troll, somebody being called a troll, and they said something, and then you actually looked and was like, hold on, man, hey, he telling the truth. Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened? Do you think we gonna get the Spence Bud fight? Right now, if I had a gun to your head, if I put a gun to your head and say, we getting the Spence Bud fight this year or not? Are you gonna say yes or no? If your life depending on it. Are we getting it this year? Oh yeah, listening workflow. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Let's do. Yeah, I seen people get blocked for asking serious questions, and I hear the fight is on, but we will see. Yeah, yeah. So all right, so yeah, yeah. What y'all think about this Canelo Triple G, man? Because yeah, I'm gonna get your opinion first, because I don't want yes men. You know what I'm saying? This is no. You can be a troll as long as you telling the truth. You can troll me as long as you telling the truth. But this is no place for yes men. You know what I'm saying? I welcome the different opinion. That's what the brother, I was listening to the brother earlier this week, and I welcome that, but it ain't a safe haven for that right now. It ain't really a safe haven for you to have, for you to be devout and staunch in your opinion, and for you to be devout and staunch in your opinion, and we can navigate that conversation without people trying to go upside each other's head. It ain't. Show me a place, you know what I'm saying, and I'll go. Where you can do that. Show me a place. But um I'm optimistic. I think it happens. I saw a comment saying that might be working a network deal, and then hold on, let me see. I'm optimistic. I think it happens. I saw a comment saying that might be working a network new deal, and then fight is finalized. Okay. Oh, so you're trying to? So it's a network thing. It's a network thing. So they working on it. I just like, man, sometimes for a hardcore boxing fan, man, sometimes no news is like terrible news, but then all these fake updates be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You be like, oh, they fighting? Oh, they not? Oh, they are? Oh, they not? Oh, I know one thing, man. I know a bud with a tore ACL or MCL, boy. I know everybody would have been questioning life. That's what kind of made me think that, hey, man, ain't nothing going on with, you know what I'm saying? You can be out there doing that, not the judge. I'm just saying, if that fight is on, man, jeopardized and you want, I don't know how many millions it is, but that's a big bag, man, to be at risk. You know, that's a big bag to be at risk. Who y'all got on top right now? Top five. Who would be the top five right now? I'm curious to know. What you think about Shakur and Kasasia? Two Olympians. Two Olympians. And you don't think Kasasia know that, you know what I'm saying, that it's gonna be competitive because they're Olympians. What y'all think? Crawford a beast. He ain't breaking no ankle. No, I'm just saying. I ain't saying like let's just say ankle. I'm saying a poked eye, or you know what I'm saying, like just freaky. I don't know. The older I get, I'm about to be 42. The older I get, the more I be focused on the money. You know what I'm saying, and not, you know what I'm saying. But when I got Bud by what, almost 10. You know, close to it, 7, 6. I think a little different, so I'm a little more cautious than I be thinking about shit I be doing. Shit, I go and I do my workouts and shit like that, but shit, sometimes I be up on them ladders and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You can step off the curb wrong. You can get off a ladder wrong. I'm up on roofs. So I'm just like, the bag I be worrying about. Let me see. Canelo, Crawford, Usyk, Jamel, Spence, top five. Canelo, Crawford, Usyk, Jamel, Spence. Okay, Martin King. Just about Shakur would dominate him, in my opinion, but it would be competitive, no doubt. I'm rocking with home team Jersey, Shakur, a generational talent. I believe that. I believe that Shakur is a generational talent. You know what my nickname for Shakur is? The definition. Just like when I said Gary Antoine was the butcher, Tank is the predator. Shakur is the definition. He's the definition of hit and not get hit right now. And he actually likes to fight on the inside. And man, it's about to get scary, man. It's about to get scary. Shakur said it. I said spooky. You call him fearless? Yeah. Fearless. That's on the intro to the. I always use that little clip of him on my intros when I talk about Shakur. Fearless Shakur Stevenson. I like that. But Shakur is he is a generational talent. And what I like about Shakur is I think he turned into Anakin, man. This is Anakin, you know what I'm saying, on his descent to being the Dark Vader, man. Y'all realize what Shakur is doing right now? Because, all right, you got two different sides, right? You got the money side, then you got the legacy side. And I always say that Tank is on the money side, but he got the skills to pay the bills. You couldn't really pay me to bet against Tank. That's just me. But you got Devin on the other side, who's straight legacy. He getting the bread with a straight legacy. I think Shakur is right in the middle, man. He got Jay Prince behind him. You know what I'm saying? He got the skills to pay the bills. He got that hit and not get hit mentality. You know, he likes to fight on the inside. He's a master at distance. You know, he do that body work. You know, so I'm like, man, when Shakur decides when he get his eyes locked on the prize and he's actually moving up and he targets you and he wants to, you know what I'm saying? He's dialed in, man. He's saying he in his prime right now. That's what he's saying right now. Shakur's saying he in his prime right now. I'm like, that's why I'm like, Devin, hold on. Why you trying to go to 140? 135 really just got lit. We really 135 just got lit, Devin. Why are you putting on your track shoes? Shakur's getting ready to come. Tank is there. T.O. might have left, but hey, he mixed it up. Loma's there. 35 is lit right now. 40 is lit right now. 47 is lit. And the only thing about this whole, like, the delay and all this, I'm like, man, what is the delay? Because do y'all realize that the welterweight division is on pause right now? It's on pause right now. It's in a standstill right now. Talk to me. Yeah, Shakur in a position to do something real special. He controls distance, in range, at an elite level. He transitions from offense to defense with the best of them and gets hit less than 5 times around. Yep. Yeah, man. Hey, I call him the definition, man. You know, the only fight that I say, hey, man, you know, I want to see it. All that, I'm friends. We grew up. That's just like when it came down to Shakur and Gary, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. You know, we grew up and we did this. I didn't get that. When it came to Gary and Tank, I didn't get that. Like now, when it come to Shakur and Tank, I'm not getting that. I mean, I want the best to fight the best. I want an agreement for them to say, okay, cool, win. But I mean, I want to see that fight. I would love to see Tank and Shakur right now. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that fight. But I don't know. Gotta wait for the powers that be. I know right now I know Bob got that pay-per-view, man, and it's not a popular opinion. But I believe that if Devin put on his track shoes and go to 140, it's gonna be Shakur and Loma on pay-per-view. Yep. So Shakur gonna be them Fort. That dude Conceição, which I actually like Conceição. I just question whether or not he gonna. I just question whether or not he gonna be able to get away when Shakur starts really committing to being able to hit him. He's not gonna be able to hit Shakur. That means he's gonna take more risks. Shakur is a master of distance, and I think that he's gonna get caught coming in a lot, and it's gonna look. It might end real quick, but it's gonna look. He's gonna make him look silly. If he decide to box him out, he's gonna make him look silly for like 12 rounds. But Conceição is a competitor. We don't know. I mean, he got the gold when they was in the Olympics. He got the gold. That guy got the gold. But things have happened. A lot of things have happened in the career. They've actually had different experiences. I know one thing, Conceição, he's not. I don't think he's gonna try to leave anything up to the judges after getting robbed by Valdez. I don't think he's gonna leave nothing up to the judges. And Shakur wants to put on a statement. Man, Shakur going there, he stopped this man after stopping Valdez. And then he he announced that he going to 135 and he fuck around and stop Lomachenko. Do y'all really realize what that's gonna do? He gonna like when you start saying A side, because he already got a following. Jay Prince is in the entertainment business. You don't think? I mean, he got the owl on his shirt. So hey, Shakur about to blow. He is. He's blowing right now. You're actually seeing him rise right now. And I don't know what Floyd and them. I don't know what they doing or how or what trajectory or how that's gonna work. But that's one of them things to where Shakur get too big, the A side might change. Because it's one thing to be the money man. It's another thing to be the legacy man. It's a whole other animal to be both. Well, you checking all the boxes. We already saw that when he went up against Jamel Herring and they did that purse bid, and Shakur wound up getting all that bread. He got more bread than Herring. Not this. You never really speak on another man's numbers, but I'm saying in the grand scheme of boxing and how it goes, business, and because you're gonna have these arguments in these places where if you're talking about skills, they want to say, oh, well, the business. And then when you're talking about the business, they say, oh, well, skillfully, they moved them goalposts. When you're talking about everything, when you look at boxing and you understand that certain things can and can't happen because of business, and then you understand certain things like physically, like timing and all that, Shakur's on that path. Shakur's on that path to go straight up the middle with it. You know what I'm saying? And take over. I mean, it's not gonna be no easy feat because he got to see Tank. I mean, we have our assumptions about what happened when him and Loma fight. That's a bigger stage fight. That'll be the biggest fight. Yeah, that'll be the biggest fight. The Loma fight on pay-per-view. That's gonna be whoever get that. That was supposed to be Tio. Yeah, Bob had said that. You go back and look at the videos. Bob had said that pay-per-view had already been locked in. That's why I don't know why they want to go to 140 so bad. Because you got Church on one hand saying that oh no, we going up. I seen a video from the Boxing Voice. They just posted it the other day. They said Church was like, nah, we moving up to 140. Then I see another video about Bob saying that it's Loma. So that next fight should be Devin and Loma. It should be. I mean, I'm like, why you want to run? Why do you want to run? Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. 1 second. What about now? Can you hear me? I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, Aaron Jones, man. Hey, shout out to Aaron Jones, man. Hey, look, I told Aaron Jones, hey, he used to get he be commenting on the videos, man. It's like he be watching everything and paying attention to everything just like me. So sometimes he'll get in the comments, man. He'll start commenting, and I'm like, man, he know. It's refreshing when somebody already know and pay attention, man. Because just like the sport of boxing, where they catering to the casual fans. Hey, these content creators are catering to the casual fans, man. They getting over on these people who just these fly by nights who in their spare time they just want to check up on, want to look in the boxing. They're getting over. They're getting over, man. And Aaron Jones, man, he always comment and be speaking his mind, man. And yes, Aaron Jones, they are the black version of HBO. Yeah, man, that's like to a certain extent, man. Everybody want to be Charleston White to a certain extent. And then I this is something that I found ironic, man. It's like, how do we be going up in front of these people, man, who can look at any video, they can pick and choose any video that we put out at any point in time. You up there trying to say racism in boxing, right? But then they can look at us and the way we go at each other over boxers and how they go at boxers, and they can say, well, man, you talking about us? Y'all do your own selves worse. But that would be too much like a troll telling the truth, right? Because it's colorism in boxing. It's colorism in boxing, man. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people that don't like certain people because they dark skinned. There's a whole bunch of people that don't like certain people because they light skinned, man. It's colorism in boxing, and we be complaining and shucking and jiving and talking about racism in boxing. But we treat ourselves the worst and say some of the worst things. I sometimes, man, I find out stuff about some boxers. I ain't even want to know all that. I ain't want to know all that. I wanted to know if you still getting that jab right. Tank is from my city, so I fuck with him as a fighter, but I don't really idolize these athletes. But when they started to trash Tank to build up Devin back in like 2019, I stopped fucking with them. Period. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a portion. I think I commented on I spoke about that earlier. You can't call yourself LDBC if you trashing black fighters left and right. My Just Do Boxing, most definitely on Shakur. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, listen. Listen. You know, sometimes, sometimes, man, we can be our own worst enemy. Yeah, pro-black. Yeah, you can't be, yeah, yeah. You can't really be overall, you can't really be pro-black if that's all you do. Or you can't appropriate when you want to be pro-black and when you don't. Because it sounds silly. Because there are some situations in boxing or in any sport or any time when we really need to be able to use the race card, but we can't because we pull it out for stuff that don't even really make sense. It's like, man, people listen. Sometimes these boxers just want to get in there and box and fight. And yeah, they might talk trash, like, man, your jab is, you know what I'm saying, this, or you ain't knock nobody out, or you pillow fists and all that. Then it start getting personal, and that's when it start going like it start not becoming about boxing anymore. About boxing, the X's and O's. And marination actually causes us all to get revved up and get riled up to where we start, you know what I'm saying? We start talking smack and we just so frustrated because we just want to see him fight. Because I can't talk about how Tank, you know what I'm saying, gonna do this. I can't talk about how, you know, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to see him, we're gonna have to see Tank get around that jab. We're gonna have to see, you know what I'm saying, when he had to move his feet. Like we're gonna have to see like the X's and O's. Let me see. Aaron Jones. Devin was humble at first. Then he started to listen to his emotional YouTube fans. Now he turned out. Yeah, man. I sometimes, man, I say this all the time. I say, look, I might not be the biggest Devin Haney fan, but I give Devin Haney better advice than most of the people that follow him. How they say, facts. Facts. I give him the best advice. They don't be listen. They only for you because they done built you up and they done made it seem like they built you. So because I don't know if you notice, whenever you hear and if you go over there and you actually see them and hear them talk about this Spence Bud fight, you let them tell it they built that fight. You let them tell it they built that fight. You let them tell it. I know they promoted it and all that, but what people like the young Lord Devin Haney got to understand is that the minute they can't use your name like they use Wilder's for likes, clicks, views, and just material, the minute they can't do that anymore, you're done. Meanwhile, me as a boxing fan saying, hey, Devin, man, you put on the clinic against Cambosis, right? We just want to see you finish him this time and then go fight Loma. But me, it's like, oh, well, what else he got to do? He's already undisputed. He's already undisputed. I'm like, undisputed? He fought Cambosis. So, I mean, what are we giving him? Cambosis? So now he can walk across water. Now he can beat Tank and now he can just slap Isaac Cruz. Man, I think Isaac Cruz will put paws on him. I don't know. We got to see it. Right. They got to fight each other, bro. Yep. Look how they did Wilder. They only interviewed him because he ready to fight. Before then, it was no Wilder videos in sight. That's what I said. That's what I actually said. I said, man, look, man, I was saying, okay, where is like so then they were saying they want him to come back, but then my thing was I don't knock the man for coming back. I don't knock Wilder for coming back. Get your bread. I know one thing, I've never heard Wilder talk about business so much and how much business, how the sport of boxing is a business. And I've never heard that much business talk from Wilder because it's just business now. They were saying they wanted him to come back for a soft touch. But I'm like, you got to look at what's going on. You got to look at what's going on as far as everybody that's being uplifted and pushed up to that pedestal. Everybody who gets all this extra gas. When you look at what they're doing inside the ring and when the praise that they're getting outside the ring, you got to look at that and you got to say, something ain't lining up. This ain't got nothing to do with you wanting to fight and feed your daughter or your family. I fight to feed, you know what I'm saying, my folks, my family. We all get up and go do something. We all do something. We all, you know what I'm saying, contribute and bring in income and do whatever for whatever reasons. Like, we not talking about that. We talking about boxing. And when they can't use you and they can't make you do whatever, they're not gonna be fucking with you, man. And I think, and I'll be saying, look, Devin, don't fall for it, because look at how they how many times you hear them say, I was a big Floyd fan, but now that they gonna do the same thing. Man, when somebody won, like, Lord forbid he lose. Lord forbid he lose. Lord forbid he lose to Lomachenko. Lord forbid he lose in this rematch to Kambosos. Lord forbid. They say they're going to rock with him, but guess what? Since nobody else is going to like and click unless they shame him after that, like they shame everybody else, nobody's going to like and click the video anymore. And the jig is up. The jig is going to be up. So some of the shit get outrageous when you just spewing rhetoric because you support somebody. Like, no, it's something else, man. You got knee pads on. You got tonsil jewelry. You got throat coat. Like you man, it's times when I see interviews and people whole personality be changing. 1 minute is fuck you and all this hyper shit. Then it's nah, King. Nah, I was just saying though, nah, cause when you had fought him, nah, cause when you had used that jab, like, nah, cause when you, the way you was throwing that jab, I'm like, that ain't even your persona. Aaron Jones. They almost kicked Devin Haney to the curb when he apologized for saying no white boy can beat him. Yeah, man. They didn't want him. I'm like, but I'm like, okay. Having that mindset is one thing. Putting that kind of information out in the atmosphere makes you a target. When a lot of the people that you want to make money with, that you have to enter into agreements with, when they can actually look and see that, is that a smart business move? You can have that energy all you want to put that out there in the atmosphere. Is that a smart move? I would have been one of the people that say that I probably wouldn't have put that down on wax, man. I wouldn't have put that down on wax. But anyways, man, it's a lot of people out there that got smoke for me, man. Hey, if y'all can, man, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know how to get all the people that say I'll be under their comments and all that. I don't know how to get them. I don't know how to get them to come and holler at me. Cause I jumped on one panel. I was trying to get some smoke. Last week I was trying to get some smoke. And guess what I did? They brought me in, they sat me in the back, they had me sitting in the back room. So I was sitting there waiting. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get all these people that be talking shit to me online when I be online, and I'll just be talking my boxing shit and pointing out facts, but also be super chatting and sending donations and saying good job on this video, and man, you did that. They don't say shit when I be doing that though. They don't be saying shit when I be doing that, but the minute I say, oh, hold on now, that ain't all the way right. Oh, you're a hater. And it's just like when you give I gave some constructive criticism on the whole debate thing, right? And the whole video got made saying, well, if all you're going to do is hate in the form of constructive criticism, like, man, shut that stupid shit up. Like, somebody has an opinion. It's crazy how you can have all these opinions on these boxers, but can't nobody have an opinion on you. Boxing fans are weird as fuck. No other sports don't get fans like boxing fans. Exactly, like we boxing fans. Like, Lord forbid, like back when I used to play football, I got man, a diehard, and you gotta have tough skin to be an Eagles fan. Tough skin. We won the Super Bowl in 2017. The coach we won with is fired already. You gotta have tough skin, but to be a boxing fan, some of these motherfuckers are so sensitive, man. I'm like, man, like, why are you so sensitive? And they argue like hoes. They argue like hoes. That's what I'm gonna say. They argue like hoes because you catch him you put a checkmate on him. One of them things to where if you answer it yes, then this has to be that. When you put them in the checkmate, they move the goalpost. Oh no. But what about Floyd? They got some scapegoats. Floyd is one of them. Or Canelo was another one. You know what I'm saying? Or they go back in history and pull up some shit that's gonna take you time to actually go see. You might know, but it might have been so long, but they'll pull out some kind of old crazy ass Snapple fact on your ass, and you be like, yeah, okay, all right, cool. You let them slide, then you go back and look at that shit. You be like, man, they were lying like shit. That ain't even. But they done moved the goalpost because that wasn't even the argument. But you model yourself on consistency and integrity when you was actually trying to get Devin Haney to drop a belt, to not honor a contract. Like, what? So, okay, what kind of consistency? Street consistency? We talking about street rules? We talking about being gangster? We talking about clout? You can't get no smoke, Bodywork. They gonna mute you or time you out, LOL, like they do me. That's why I don't comment on live no more. Exactly, Aaron Jones. Exactly. That's why I don't comment no more. I go in sometimes. I comment. I every now and again, but I don't. I watch them because people say, "Well, why are you here? And why are you here?" Cause man, there's a lot of people floating around. There's some people that don't really watch it, but when they come in, if you got a popular channel, they're gonna pop in. They're gonna hear that opinion and they're gonna run with it. You might see one of these. You might be talking out here. You know, you might be having some water cooler talk, and they misinformed because they've been listening to you. They might be misinformed. Some of us are saying, hey, man, that's not all the way correct. We do agree with you. We appreciate your success. You are doing a good thing. We're not going to deep throat you, though. But you're doing all right job. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to give you no deep throat. You're doing a good job, but nah, you a little off on this one. You're a little off on that one. Well, what about this? Oh, you're a hater. You're a hater. That's all, man. We got to describe what hate is, man. Because at one point in time, man, being hate was actually getting, you know what I'm saying, getting caught and drug out into some woods, and you know what I'm saying, like being hated was like actually getting, you know what I'm saying, your tires like flat and getting your glass bust out, getting followed, getting, you know what I'm saying, jumped, lynched. Like that used to be hate. Now you say something that's of a different opinion, now you're hating. You're hating. All right. Well, this will be a place for trolls, man. But you got to tell the truth. You can troll, but it got to be the truth. So I'm here waiting for all the smoke. Even if you want to jump out from watching, but yeah, you don't want it to be seen that, you know, it's numbers over here. But I'm here for all the smoke. All the smoke. And John, what fight you excited for, man? You and Real Marlo TV, y'all the only ones that are actually talking about boxing. No clickbait, no fake news. Salute. Yeah, I used to go in there and comment on Real Marlo TV. I think I might have just made a comment or something one time about something. I don't know if he read it right or something, but I'll be watching Marlo. I used to comment all the time because, hey, Marlo funny as shit. He funny as shit, man. I remember he said, shit, one time he said, Keith Thurman looked like a meerkat. Sometimes, man, you be watching him and you might just bust out laughing. But he said He said Keith Thurman looked like a meerkat one time, man. I lost my shit. But yeah, shit, this Tank versus Ryan fight, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, this is my opinion, right? This is my take on Tank and Ryan, right? Ryan has a skill set, right? I think he's just now coming into his own to where it's like it might have just clicked, like, okay, if I can actually get this shit together and build on what this guy is teaching me, I can be very dangerous. We already knew he had power. We already know that because of his height and his reach, he's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And he got speed and he got pop. It ain't no denying. He catch you right, especially because speed, just having speed alone with no power is devastating. But speed with power is even more devastating. I think that I want to see it. I want to see it because I want to see if that was the real Ryan that we saw. It's hard to kind of gauge Ryan up against Fortuna because Fortuna, we don't know what state of mind and what health Fortuna was really in. We don't know where his mind was at. We don't know if they say, hey, man, don't give it all you got, because he did fight a little different than what I'm used to from Fortuna. But for me, I want to see it just because I want to see it just because Ryan got on Mike Tyson. He got on Mike Tyson podcast and said that God told him. See, when you start doing stuff like that and it don't come to fruition, I know because I used to read and all that. Like when it don't come to fruition, by the letter of the law, we supposed to be able to stone you for saying God said. Like when a prophet was false, you were actually able to stone him. That's the Old Testament. The New Testament, they done allowed a bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of stuff in the new. The fight was supposed to happen last year, but that COVID was in the way. Yeah, yeah. COVID did a lot. Um, it has some setbacks, but you ever realize that sometimes when the coast is clear and everything clear, some of them fights still don't get made. Oscar was trying to make Canelo fight Jamal Charlo. That's why he left Golden Boy, LOL, so he can fight who he wants. Yeah, I remember that. But then you guess what? People came back and was denying that. I'm like, y'all remember when y'all don't remember? I was like, man, y'all don't really recall the real reason that Oscar and Canelo was at odds. Cause Oscar, at least he was making it be known to the public, or he was, that's what he was trying to make it seem like. He was trying to make it seem like he wanted Canelo to fight them boys. I think Oscar saw big paydays, and he saw the same thing. Like, okay, because realistically, we should have had, instead of a Triple G, I see the first two, but like we could have had a trilogy with Charlo and Canelo. As time go on, I'm thinking they aged them all out a little bit because now people starting to say he ain't the same. I'm like, I don't know how we know he ain't the same. We gotta see him back in the ring. So I want to see Maul and Jana back now. But I'm here with my blacks, and I want all the smoke. Cause I be trolling, man. I don't take no personal shots at anybody. I actually speak about boxing. I like talking about the X's and O's. I do have fighters that I prefer over the other, but like I said at the beginning of the show, one part is not greater than the sum of all the moving parts. So one boxer is not greater than the sum of all boxing put together. That's where I stand. You're just not gonna be one. And here, man, I'll be starting to question that eye test, man. Because according to the eye test, that dude Janabek looked kind of serious. Yeah, that guy, Janabek, he looking kind of serious. And I would love to see Maul fight him. I'm telling my man to come in on the chat. Yeah. So I'm trying to get my man in there. Yeah, I think it, man. Look, the man got a belt. Aaron Jones, the man got a belt now, man. That's a unification now. And he calling for it. So you can get away with the side of the street. You can be the unified 160 champ. Now you do that, now you got clout. It's like I got half of them things. Come see me. Like he can start closing in. But yeah, I don't see why, man. I say yeah. I say, hey, I think he need to fight. He need to come on in. I just know that Jamal got one of the most devastating jabs. He got a jab. He can knock you out with a jab. And I think that Maul is one of them fighters that rises to the level of his competition. The better the competition, the better Maul is going to show up. Some fighters are like that. Some fighters are like that. When the competition get better, they get better. Sometimes some fighters they disappear when the competition get better, but some fighters actually need that. It's just like the Eagles, man. When we used to play and we'll mess around and we'll get a tie with Detroit, we'll get a tie with the Lions, or get like when we got a tie with the Browns. It's like, why are we struggling with the Browns and the Lions at the time? When they weren't that good. But then we can go and smack New England back then. We can smack New England in the face. Some people rise to the level of the competition. Some boxers are like that. I guess everybody must be getting ready to watch football and stuff, man. But I'm here. I'm here. I actually want to can I play that? Let me see. But nah, I'll wait. I guess I'll wait. I had something I actually wanted to play, man, because I'm tired of these goalposts being moved. I'm tired of people always talking about Bob and what he got going on, and how it always being made to seem that we can actually some fighters can actually do some things under Bob and some can't. I want to get educated. I want to know. The same ones that trash Bud for being under Bob now have selective memory when it come to Devin. Yeah, I want to play something, man. I want to play something, Aaron Jones. I would like to play something. Let me see. I got to get on here and find it. But yeah, I'm like, that's what I don't get. I'm like, what Bob are we talking about? Are we talking about the Bob father? I got something that I wanted to play. I want to play some. Let me see. Cause this is like this is like hot off the press. This just happened the other day. I'm like, man, what Bob? How can we describe Bob in one breath? How is this? This is the perfect example right here. I'm like, and I'm gonna be painted as a hater for this, right? I'm gonna be painted for a hater for this. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, man, what Bob are we talking about? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'm finding it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right, listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. And I want to know, am I okay? I might be a hater. You can say I'm a hater, but this is when I say when trolls tell the truth. Now I'm a player, and this is somebody that everybody goes to. Like 8,000 people are going here and they're listening, right? And this is what's being said about Bob, right? Let's see. Let's just see. Let's just see.
But my nigga, drink, bro, you can't answer a simple question, my nigga. Very simple. This is what he said. Stop using the fucking promoters and managers, advisors for that weak ass excuse y'all doing. They work for us. Y'all dumb motherfuckers. If you really want to fight, you tell them I don't give two fucks. That's who I want to fight. Let your nuts hang. So what you're telling me is Errol can do something that Terrence Crawford can't. So I'm asking you a simple question. Simple, King. Very simple. I'm not shitting on you or down on you. It is a yes or no answer. Is this man lying? You can write whatever the fuck you want in the comments. It's a very simple answer. Was he telling the truth or was he lying? I don't understand why you niggas can't say, yo, I fuck with Bud heavy, bro. I think Bud will beat Errol Spence. I think he beats everybody, but this nigga's lying, bro. You can't do that shit. You know he can't do that shit. I don't know why you can't say that, bro. It's very simple. He's telling a falsehood. He can't do shit without Bob Arum. That's a falsehood. That's a lie.
What'd he say? He can't do shit without Bob. That's a falsehood. So I'm trolling. I'm trolling right now because I'm telling the truth. So let me see. Let's go on.
It's a white lie, a green lie, an orange or pink or brown lie. It's a fucking lie. He can't move unless Bob Arum told him this is what you're doing, and we know this.
He can't move unless Bob Arum told you, and we know this.
He said that. This right here is a lie. Okay? It's a lie, my brother. It's a lie. It's a falsehood. Whether it's a lie.
It's a lie, my brother. It's a falsehood. Whether it's a white lie, a purple, yellow, green, neon, polka dot lie.
A white lie, a little chippy behind the scene lie. It's a fucking lie. He can't make fucking fights. It requires Bob Arum to do it.
He can't make
how
fights.
He moves and how
he can't make fights. It requires Bob Arum to do it. Going into how he moves.
He acts, he puts it out there like he can. Which is the reason why I talked to my brother Smoke and I said, this man's ducking. Because he puts this facade out there. Like
So he's saying this man is ducking. So in this instance, he's saying that this man is ducking because he can't do anything. He can't go take a shit without Bob. This is what he's saying. He's saying this man can't do. It's a falsehood because he puts on this facade like
he can do these things and do those things. He put those facades out there.
He put them out there.
So if you put those facades, you put that image out there, I'm going to look at you for your image, for what you're putting to the public, for what you're giving me. And
so So the image that's being given at that time, the image that was being given at that time was that he's ducking me and he can't fight, but he's saying that he knows that Bob, he can't do shit without Bob. Okay.
You're giving me, I want this, and this nigga's holding it up. That's what you're giving me. You have never refuted this, ever. It's always, I want it. These niggas is ducking me. These niggas don't want no smoke. These niggas ain't this. That's what it's always.
Who do that sound like? Who do that sound like? Who run around saying this? They don't want it. They don't want it. So Gary Russell ain't want it. Mikey Garcia ain't want it. Robert Easter didn't want it. Tank didn't want it. Lomachenko didn't want it. T.O. didn't want it. Cambosos didn't want it, but he was forced into it because of the other belt and all this other stuff, even though that's not true. Esau Cruz don't want none. Frank Martin called him out. He ain't want it. Who sound like that? Who sounds like that? So let's continue.
So if that's what it's been, then why aren't you doing what everybody else does to make these fights?
So why he said, so why you, so if that's the image, why you ain't doing everything else to make these fights? But he's saying you can't do shit without Bob. All right, let's let him finish and let's see who he say that they say the culprit is.
After that question, you jump in here and say, oh, Al Heyman. Right,
so you jump in and you say Al Heyman. Golly, don't that sound familiar? He was talking about Bud at that point in time, but who's signed to Bob right now? Who's running around saying that who's ducking and who can't get nothing and can't do this and do that? You know what I'm saying? Who? The young Lord Devin Haney, man. But we know he signed to Bob. That's how you know the boxing fans that be in them chants are probably a little slow because they flip-flop and switch up every time. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, do y'all even hear? Like, hold on, man. If we change gears, why doesn't that don't apply to Devin anymore? That don't apply to Devin anymore? Now that he over there with Bob? That don't apply to Devin? Or is it just me? But I'm a hater. I'm a hater for pointing this out. I'm a hater. Well, when people don't box, right? Even when people are boxing, people want to hear and see and listen to different perspectives and opinions. And when we come across those different perspectives and opinions, sometimes we get caught in a quandary because we don't know when you're lying, Mr. Consistency. We don't know when you're lying about what you're saying because you're not being consistent. Because from what I hear, Devin got a semi-promotional, quasi-promotional deal. I don't know what he got. But I know Bob run the shots. He called the shots. He run the show. But I'm just waiting, man, hoping that somebody, man, who had a problem would show up and say something and talk or whatever and get it, air it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it off your chest. This ain't for no numbers. If it was for numbers, I wouldn't be taking the stairs. I would take the elevator. There's people out here. I've seen people buy subscribers and buy views and all. I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna keep it. That's why you can go through all my videos. You can go back and stuff that people done fell out with me a year ago about are now on the same side as me using the argument points I was using back then. But they fell out with me back then. But now they take the same stance now, arguing the same points now. It's just in the present time when I was pointing out the truth all along the lines, I was a hater. I was a troll. Sometimes trolls tell the truth. In my opinion, they should either rock with Earl Spence or a Devin Haney because it's contradictions all over the place. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did you ever see the whole thing about how every time when Spence fights come up, they kept saying that he needed Blu-ray? Did y'all used to hear when they used to always really emphasize that Earl needed Blu-ray? And I kept thinking like, well, dang, man, for Earl to be the guy and the one that they always, you know what I'm saying, the one that they uphold, why Earl don't participate? I'm like, because if you look at Earl and anything that he doing and how he and what he got going on, Earl is very smart. You don't think Earl was hearing them all the time? They would ask them. Hey man, what you got? You got Earl for the knockout? You got Earl for the knockout? Oh man, nah, I don't know. I got Earl for winning. Earl gonna win. Earl gonna win. I got him for the win, but he ain't knocking nobody out. I think he knew Blu-ray. I think he knew Blu-ray. I think he knew Blu-ray. I think Blu-ray. Then you get Blu-ray on, and Blu-ray is a good guy. I saw his videos and all that, but it was always this I, me, my. And so I think before that last fight, Earl was smart enough. Earl heard that question. They said, "Man, Earl, you gonna knock out Ugas?" He said, "I don't know." Earl, he said, "I don't know, man." He said, "I don't know if I'm gonna knock nobody out. It's been a long time or whatever." That was a chess move. Earl got one of the highest IQs out there, man. That was a chess move, but you don't think that he heard some of his biggest fans sitting up there every time the topic come out, and then when it come down to that KO situation, asking if it was going to be dependent upon Blu-ray? So what Earl do? Earl go get another nutritionist to start working out. And what he do? He stopped Ugas. And he made a statement. Because you can be a fan. You could be a fan, and you could actually be a fan, and you can actually be promoting something that's not really like a narrative that your favorite fighter really wants you to promote. I don't know, man. I would love to be, and that's one of the questions I would have asked Earl. Hey, man, how you feel about them always saying that you needed Blu-ray to actually get the knockout? And then how do you feel after getting the knockout against Ugas and you didn't use Blu-ray? Not that Blu-ray, not the two young black brothers shouldn't be able to get the bag together, but I'm just saying the narratives. Like, you got a lot of people listening to it. It's just like you had a lot of people running around saying that Devin needs Blu-ray. I'm like, well, dang, he the undisputed champ of the world, and people still running around saying he need Blu-ray. But I digress. Aaron John, Blu-ray is a hater, bro. He got Earl Spence's number, but was on YouTube hating the whole time. The thing is, they think boxers don't watch their YouTube channels. Nah, my favorite is when Earl agreed that the dude that said they make money off of him, Earl Spence, had them in their feelings, but it's the truth. And then Kevin Pittman, well spoken. Thank you. And thanks, Miss Skip Whiff. But yeah, man. Yeah, so Earl be watching, man. Earl be watching and listening, man. And it's like this. I like Earl and I like Bud. Like I don't agree with a lot of the moves that Bud was doing outside. Like just like, okay, everybody say, all right, going to go play the basketball game, that's cool. He building the profile. I understand the marketing. I just don't like the fact that he might have got injured. Somebody would say I'm hating. I'm not hating. I'm just saying I don't like that move. I like, man, I want to know that, hey, man, this man in the gym, he going to go get his rest. He hydrated, man. We getting the best Bud, because I want to see the best Bud fight the best Spence. And I'm okay with that. Where I start having problems is when we start as fans, when we start going at it, like we be ready to fight each other and the fighters ain't fighting. So my whole thing is this. We can get all excited about boxes and, you know what I'm saying, and getting all excited about these fights not happening, this, and as fans, we can go back and forth to each other, I mean, with each other all the time. right? But can we agree not to fight each other until at least the fighters fight? Let's see. Tank 2, that's why Ellaby made Blue Blood roll out trying to get an interview like they ain't see all them Tank videos and him shitting on him. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like it's that's the whole thing though, man. It's like that's why it's good and bad because as content creators, right? Especially when you're in the boxes and you focus on the sensational points, like the hot, juicy stuff. Like when you really like the TMZ of boxing and stuff like that, you catering to the casuals, and you will keep them for a little while, and they'll show, and it's a money grab. But when you're in there for the long haul, because just like I pulled up that clip right there, and I was able to play that, I do that. I can pull up those clips and then play it, and when the hardcores hear that, they be like, they hear it, but they be like, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Because they rock with them personally. It's cool to rock with them personally, but don't be on there talking about you speaking facts when you got information on here like that clip I played with them saying they wanted Wilder to come back for a soft touch. I'm like, Earl says soft touch, tune up, but it's okay for Wilder to come back for a tune up. They say something about rankings and when people lose and how rankings get set and this and that. It's like, but he lost and he got put right back in the rankings. Now he about to be right back up there. What about the young ones? And I'm starting to see, look, the big baby, Jerry Anderson, he's starting to get a lot of hate. You know why? You know why? Anybody know why? Jerry Anderson's getting hate because they believe you have to be monogamous boxing fans. Boxing, they practice boxing monogamy. You can only like one heavyweight. You can only like one heavyweight. That's called boxing monogamy. You gotta be a boxing monogamous. So Big Baby, Jerry Anderson, he's not gonna get the attention that he deserves right now. You know how some people like even when it comes, whether you Bud or you're Spence, right? Some fans who really know and love boxing, you know what I'm saying, but also got stuff going on YouTube. Guess what they starting to do? That leg is starting to straddle the fence, and they starting to come over into Boots territory. They know he's going to be the next big thing. He's being gauged off of the eye test. He's being gauged off of the eye test right now. But it's a lot of people, it's a lot of Spence fans that don't want to give Boots his just due because they're loyal to Spence. It's a lot of Bud fans that don't want to give Boots his just due because they're loyal to Bud. It's like, why can't you like all three of them? He said they're going to do Gary Antoine Russell too, LOL, because of you know who. Yeah, but hey, it's looking like if Gary Antoine is already there. His profile is already high enough to where he's gonna have a belt. Because it was a go-go song, nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide. You know what I'm saying? It's nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. Hey, he can come up. He said, hey, since my brother got beat by a bum, go ahead and come up 5 pounds and I will accommodate you. They said, no smoke, no smoke. They ain't want no chimney smoke. They ain't want no black mouth smoke. They ain't want no exhaust smoke. They wanted to have smoke. They ain't want no smoke. All that energy. Like America's top unarmed security, like all that energy, all that energy they got to see Tank right now at 40 when they got a deal on the table with Cambosis. When Gary Antoine was like, "Oh, my brother beat a bum. Okay, go ahead and come on up to 140. I'll see about you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be your Huckleberry. No smoke, no smoke. There's nothing to be had." Is he going to be available? Do he have a belt? That's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah, they gonna say, "Oh, that's what they were saying. Is he gonna be available? Does he have a belt? All this other." I'm like, what does that matter? I thought this was about the best fighting the best. Oh man. Oh man, this is my first live, y'all. I gotta get some stuff in order as far as going live. I just was like, man, since it's always made it seem that I be ducking and dodging and running away from smoke. You know what I'm saying? I be having so much to say, let everybody tell it. I just want to show my face and see if anybody really wanted to actually have some real debates. If anybody really wanted to talk some real boxing. If anybody really wanted to get, get something off their chest. It's different when you see people out and about and this and that. We online, we talking boxing. You know what I'm saying? We love it. But I guess everybody probably either getting ready to watch the games. Let's see. Before I get out of here, anybody want to talk about anything or hear my opinion on anything? I think everybody who came in, man, and actually clicked on, man. I plan on coming back. Wow, peace, my brother. Peace, Aaron Jones, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. Thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for everybody who came in and actually, showed up, and actually supporting. I'm gonna get it right. I know my little back screen and all that was all floppy, whatever. It's flowing around. I'm a perfectionist, man. I be trying to have everything right in my background and all that. That's what took me so long. I gotta get another software to put that background in the back. I know how to do it on my regular videos, but I got some things I gotta do on my computer, on both of my computers, that I need to do in order to actually in order to actually get better and do some of the other things I wanted to do. I want to do and be able to do online and work efficiently. But I just wanted to make myself available. I don't want to make myself available. Shit, I can hop on the live with you one day if I could, bro. Yeah, I think I gotta do the stream yard because another brother was on here. He was trying to get on. I gotta get with the stream yard. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get with the stream yard and figure out how all that work. Because everything I do on my channel, I do it myself. I don't really have any help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to anybody for any. I just go online and read and look up stuff to actually figure it out. But I'm not really. It's not like a band of brothers or nothing like that to actually show me what's going on. So I got to take my time. I just was like, man, I was waiting to actually I was waiting to actually start going live because I wanted everything to be all perfect and all this, you know what I'm saying? But somebody kept getting on me saying, man, you need to go live. You need to just do it. You need to just go live. I'm like, man, I could talk boxing all day. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. But I figured, I said, let me go ahead and get on here. Let me go ahead and get on here and go live. But Aaron Jones, hey man, I know you're gonna get the notifications. And when I figure out that StreamYard and I know how to put the link up and do all that, because right now it's this live, it's gonna go down at the first one. But a lot of my old videos, when they weren't all that good and all pristine and polished and how I was making shit, I left them up there because it shows the progress. So this live right here, the way this background and all this would be one of the things that I can improve on next time and have, what I'm saying, locked in. I just ain't want my whole housing area to be on display. Um, but Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna let you on, Aaron Jones. You know you got you know you gonna be able to get on, hop on. Shoot, you might have a lot of shit to say that I might not even have to say nothing, Aaron Jones. You might get on here and just I'll be like, all right, man, am I needed here anymore? You know what I'm saying? You be talking that boxing, man. I just like, man, salute to all the people that just like the sport of boxing, man. Salute to all the people who, like I said, man, believe that no one fighter is above the entire sport. You know what I'm saying? And we are pure boxing fans. We don't have hate and animosity towards these boxers like that for real, for real. We laugh and joke and cry. I mean, this is like somebody getting knocked out. We gonna laugh and joke and you know what I'm saying, and we gonna make fun. You know what I'm saying, because people get hit, like people get knocked out or whatever. But it's supposed to be all in fun and game. But I'm trying not to be so deep off into the personal thing. It's kind of hard when it start dipping off into the political thing. But some of us just love boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not emotional. You know what I'm saying? Not emotional. I'm not gonna get emotional. You know what I'm saying, over no boxer. I'm not gonna have a fit because such and such won't fight. Now I got to go talk about people's mothers and they, telling them to do. I like, man, come on, man. It's real. Like outside, like once we shut these computers off, when we go out there, that's a whole different ball game. But anyways, man, I appreciate y'all here at Bodywork Boxing. We don't take things for face value. We do that body work.